Hello friends, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Bethany. I sell real estate in the Greater Toronto area, and recently we hosted a boot camp where I taught other agents how to secure more sellers. So let's check it out. So I was so lucky and blessed that I think we had about 42 agents come and see me in person. We held an event at the beautiful Alt Hotel near the Toronto airport. And the purpose of this bootcamp was to train other agents on what I do. And this time it was all about working with sellers. Now this is the second bootcamp that I had hosted. I did one back in September 2023, and that one was all about buyers and doing social media and automations. So this is my second bootcamp, and it was a success. We had an absolutely fabulous time. It was sponsored by my legal team at Mayfair Law Group, and my brokerage obviously gives me the most amazing support, Century 21 Millennium. So in real estate, they say that, you need to list to last. So from your beginning of your career, most agents, they'll start off working with leases, then they'll move over working with buyers, and then you start moving over to working with sellers. So most real estate agents are, desiring to get to that point where they're exclusively working with sellers and they're a listing agent like me. So there's not a lot of information out there as to how to get to that level. Matter of fact, there's a lot of gatekeeping in the real estate world. Why? I don't know, because I am like an open book. But I wanted to give an opportunity for all of the agents that reach out to me, all of the agents that DM me, asking me for coaching, asking me for mentoring and support. I like to organize these boot camps every once in a while so that we can all get together. And I love to meet my network and meet the other agents in the industry because I come across them in deals all the time. So that's the reason why I do it. And I also want to give back. So we talked about how to work with sellers, right? And it really starts with being able to attract sellers. So I did a little bit of information about some of the content that I do that has attracted me amazing seller clients in the past, whether that's talking about your return on your investment, how to find good tenants, how to properly sell a property in a down market. So I went over some of that, and then I gave some tips for what the attendees could do if they were looking to potentially make some content to attract sellers. And that was like comparative analyses, market updates. I know all this stuff maybe sounds like so unsexy, which it may be, but when you're dealing with people's money, sometimes you have to do the unsexy stuff. And sometimes it's just about the numbers and the facts. So we went through that. Then I also gave some tips on what to do, when you're arriving to meet a seller. So always show up on time, of course. One of the things that I said was to always wear socks. Even when I'm wearing heels, I will wear like small socks that sit inside of the high heel. And I made a joke just saying nobody wants to see those dogs barking, which is true. I don't want to see your toes, and I'm sure you don't want to see mine. So I always wear socks. I always sit at the dining table or like an office table. I don't sit on the couch with the coffee table. I'm not here to hang out and be a couch potato and like watch TV with my sellers. If I'm lucky and fortunate enough that a seller would actually consider me as their listing agent, I want to come in with my best foot forward, formal. I sit at the table or my back is straight. We're going to talk business. I'm going to be there for maybe an hour and then I'm going to leave, right? Some of these tips and advice is what a lot of new agents and sometimes established agents need to hear. This is the stuff that top performing professionals do time and time again that people underestimate. So I always do that. And amongst other things, like I always park on the street. Even if you see space in the driveway, chances are somebody's going to come home and they're going to need that spot in the driveway, and you're going to be, going out to your car and doing that awkward dozy-do with the person pulling in, whether it's like a spouse or like their teenage son coming to park their car. So I give advice always to park on the street. Then we went into the listing presentation. So you'd be surprised. I think the stats are like more than 80% of agents don't have a formal listing presentation. And your listing presentation is supposed to be a step-by-step guide for the sellers, on what to expect when they hire you to sell their property. Now mine is 60 pages long, so I'm not gonna go through this in a whole YouTube video, but I did give all of the agents a digital copy of this so that they can read through it, see what I do. Hopefully it will help them in their business. And it really does outline like the key components, right? Having a very strong introductory, sometimes the clients may know you from social media and sometimes they don't, right? Even though all my clients meet me from TikTok and from Instagram, sometimes the wife may call me and the husband has no idea who I am. So I always include like a really detailed about me section. And on top of that, I want them to know just who I am outside of their listing agent, outside of being a real estate professional as well. So people really appreciate this part of it. And they say, oh, your daughter's so cute. And I'm like, yeah, she is really cute. I go through all of my responsibilities as the listing agent, right? What am I here to do? And then we have sections about getting to know the sellers. We talk about market stats. That's a really key important part to discuss whenever you're selling a home, is understanding the market. What is currently happening in the market? What to anticipate? What do these numbers mean? Some sellers are very savvy. This may not be their first time selling a house, and some of them it may be their first and their last, right? So going over that, we have pricing strategies, but most importantly, talk about, my approach to marketing. So whenever I'm listing a home, I do editorial photography. We provide as well professional staging. And I have like a resume of work in here. We do professional videography. We have our ultimate seller guide, which is on my channel somewhere if you haven't seen that. And there's also clippets of the videos that I do. So we do drone shots for all of our listings as well. And we do open houses. I love open houses. Open houses are a great way to sell the home. I know a lot of agents might tell you that open houses don't sell homes. I've successfully sold, quite a few listings through open houses. I found the buyers that way. Another thing we started doing is our 3D floor plans. These are really, really fun and people really love these online as well. So we do that. We have our print advertising. So whenever we're listing a home, as much as I am a social media girly, we always make sure to incorporate print advertising because, although it's 2024 and we're in a digital age, some people are not on social media. So this is how I can make sure that I'm hitting each target. So we will do postcards through Canada Post to the mailing route, wherever the house is located. Then we also do feature sheets. And a feature sheet is like a magazine of your home that has all of the photos, all of the floor plans, the features, the finishes, and then we have a QR code that brings all the potential buyers to the listing's own dedicated landing page. So we do that as well. I talk about social media in my listing presentation and the value of it. But one thing that I do with all my listings, if it is a freehold property, then I will get the pre-listing home inspection done in advance. And the reason that I do that is so that my sellers are one step closer to a firm offer. You see, when a buyer is looking at a property and if they love it and they want to make an offer on it, chances are it will be conditional on financing and conditional on doing a home inspection. Now, when I do a pre-listing home inspection, it saves my sellers time because now I can provide this to the buyers and say, hey, I've already done this. Check out this report. That's the first reason. The second benefit is we do the pre-listing home inspection before going to market. So if we do uncover any issues, the sellers now have an opportunity to remedy those issues prior to going to market, because there may be something that they were unaware of, right? That's another benefit. And the third benefit is when we are selling properties as is. There have been times where I am selling a property, the seller is not going to make any changes and they're selling it as is, where is. So in that case, I have done the home inspection, I have identified any issues, and I have now disclosed those issues to the buyer as well. So there's tons of benefits by just in the beginning providing this pre-listing home inspection, and that's why I do it on all my listings. Now, if my property is a condo, then I will order the status certificate in advance as well. And the reasoning for that is similar to the pre-listing home inspection. My goal is to get my seller to a firm offer as fast as possible. So when you're buying a condo, the buyers may do an offer. It may be conditional on financing and conditional on status certificate. If you are ordering it at that offer time, then the condo corporation has 10 days to provide you that status certificate. But if I have it in my hands ready to go, then chances are we can satisfy that condition in less than 3 to 5 days. So that's why I always order that. And that's part of my listing presentation. And that's part of the services that you get when you hire me as your listing agent. Now, in my listing presentation, I have a to-do for the sellers as well. Everything that they need to do to prepare the home for market. On top of that, I have checklists. Okay, when it comes to showing. So what the sellers need to do prior to any showings happening. I have a moving out checklist as well. Another seller to do. And then lastly, we finish it off with a calendar so we can put a timeline of events together. So I went through my entire listing presentation with this room of agents so that I could help them in their pursuit. Now, aside from just the listing presentation, we also have listing kits. So in our listing kits, we come and we have a kit with everything that we need whenever we are meeting with the seller and listing a property. Within there, you find the buyers, you find the signs, the remove your shoes, to sanitize your hands. We have the lock boxes in there. We have our listing binders, which include our pre-listing home inspections, our neighborhood demographics, our school reports. So for all of our listings, we provide the school jurisdictions. So if the new buyers move into this home and if they have kids, these are the schools that they're going to go to, the feature sheets, anything. So we have our listing kits. And the most exciting thing that we've been working on lately are these LCD folders. And now we provide these to our sellers with all the information. So now whenever we meet with our sellers, we're able to just provide this with them after we leave, and then they can sit back and just watch the entire presentation that we just went through, you know, in their own time. So this is really exciting as well. And after we went through all of this stuff, we had lunch. I shared with them a little story about a recent listing that I had and the importance of understanding the financial implications, that everything that goes on behind the sale. And then that was it. And then we hung out and got to know each other, and it was a fabulous time. So if any of you guys are watching this from the event, thank you for coming. It was wonderful actually meeting you. I'm gonna give a big shout out to Jada, who drove all the way from Michigan to come and see me on that day. If you guys ever need an amazing referral for a realtor based in Detroit, Michigan, just send me a DM. I'd love to send Jada your way. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. If there's any other topics that you want me to cover, just leave them in the comments. But otherwise, thank you for watching.